Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh.
What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Oh, wait, hold up. That's the Oscars thing going. All right, so there we go. Hey, yo, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Oscar Sunday, or not Oscar Sunday. It's not Oscar Sunday just yet, but it's an exciting day in movie fandom. The Oscar nominations got announced this morning. It's early in the morning, and I'm here with the one, the only, Sabrina Ramirez. What's up, Sabrina?
Happy to be here, bright and early, let's say. Like, come on.
Yeah, no, for sure. Super early, super bright. It seems like it's gonna be a good day. There's a lot of great movies that came out this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing these nominations. I hope the Oscars are kind of reflective of, you know, what we're gonna see of what the top of the movies are, but we'll see about that. So
I know every year we put a lot of faith into them. I know we went over our Oscar predictions. Honestly, if you guys haven't watched it, check it out, see who was right, who was wrong. Fingers crossed. Let's get into it.
Yeah, fingers crossed indeed. Just before we start the Oscar broadcast, Sabrina, did you have any particular things that you're looking forward to seeing? Anything in particular that you're looking forward to? Oscar nominations.
I'm hoping we honestly get a little bit fun with it. Like you mentioned, we have so many great films this year, a lot that can be up for consideration when it comes to Best Director, Screenplay, Original Adapted, all of the above. I really want to see some past lives love. So Greta Lee, Celine Song. I'd love to see Kaylee Spaney, and like we mentioned, Zac Efron.
Yeah, Zac Efron would be amazing. I definitely want to see past lives recognition for sure. And I've been, raising the flag about Origin for a long time, and I'm hoping that could sneak in and get some surprises as well. In fact, after this Oscar nomination stream, I have a review, solo review for Origin that's going to premiere right after this at 8:30. So, if you're watching on YouTube, it'll redirect to it automatically if you're watching the stream. So stick to the end of the stream. You'll get a cool review of Origin at the end. So, with that being said, let's just jump into it. It's Oscar time. I'm going to fast forward through this whole 3-minute intro that they have in here with this goofy music because it's like not good. Okay, so we are 30 seconds out from the broadcast starting. And they got a couple good hosts this year to roll them out. I forgot who.
Zazie Beetz and Jack Quaid, right?
Oh yeah. No, I love Jack Quaid. That's the boys. Oppenheimer. He was in Oppenheimer. He was banging the bongos. Like, hey. I'm like, yo, you for Jack Quaid?
Yeah, that's a good duo.
Yeah. Let me see. All right, come on, y'all. What's taking so long, Oscars? Okay. Still a black screen. Yeah. So when you hit the last 30 seconds, they just go to a black screen on their screen. All right, here we go.
Live from Beverly Hills, California, please welcome the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
Can you hear that? Cool.
Janet Yang.
Cool. And people watching live, let me know if y'all can watch this as well. Hit the like button as well.
Los Angeles, and for those who are watching around the world, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to one of the most exciting days of the year, the Oscars nominations announcement.
Yeah.
With our membership of nearly 11,000 film industry artists and leaders, our acclaimed film museum and collection, and our world-renowned awards, the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, the home of global cinema. We recognize and celebrate all aspects of the film industry and the diverse, talented individuals who make movies. The Oscar nominees in almost every category were voted upon by peers in their branch. Actors vote for actors, film editors vote for film editors, costume designers for costume designers, and so on. Best Picture nominations, however, are determined by all Academy members. This year, we had incredible voter turnout with ballots cast from a record-breaking
we honestly could have talked over this part.
I know.
I was like, geez, I thought this was going to get right into the money.
What our members feel are the best cinematic achievements of 2023. And now it is my pleasure to introduce
Alex Marzoni got the best job in the world, for sure.
Actress Zazie Beetz and actor Jack.
There we go.
Yeah. She struggled to get Zazie Beetz out. She was like, actress Zazie Beetz.
Like, it's early. I don't even know why they did it this early.
Hello, everyone.
Nice on the West Coast.
I
Right.
am so honored to be here. How about you, Zazie?
Yeah, I'm super honored to be here. 93 countries. And standing here now is such a surreal experience. My little girl self is so excited to be here. Honestly, my adult self is really excited to be here, so.
For anyone in the film industry, no matter where you're from, to be recognized by the Academy is a dream come true.
To be nominated can be life-changing. So, let's get into it.
Okay. For Best Performance,
Okay.
an actor in a supporting role.
Come on,
Sterling
RDJ.
K. Brown in
Hey! Let's go. That was a hopeful.
Robert De Niro in Killers of the Flower Moon. Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer.
There you go. There's RDJ.
Charles?
Ryan Gosling in Barbie.
Oh, yeah, Charles Milton.
And Mark Ruffalo in Poor Things.
Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Next, the
It's tough to beat that
nominees
one.
for
It's tough to beat
achievement in
those.
costume
I would take
design.
Hero, put in Charles.
Barbie,
Yeah, yeah, put in Charles. I feel that. Charles Milton
Killers of the
definitely deserved him
Flower
more.
Moon,
Best costume. This
Napoleon.
pretty easy. I mean, Barbie,
Oppenheimer.
Napoleon, of course. Like
and Poor Things.
I think Poor Things should win for best costume.
I agree.
The nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling are Golda,
Never heard of this one.
Maestro, Oppenheimer,
You're like whatever. I know.
Poor Things,
Poor Things, yes.
and Society of the Snow.
Wow. Honestly, a lot here that I never heard of, but it makes sense
This
when the
year's
people that are
nominees for
working it are the
Best
ones
Live
that are
Action Short
Exactly.
Film.
more aware.
The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue,
Oh, yo, congrats on that one, actually.
The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Congrats on Red, White, and Blue. Actually, I'm friends with one of the producers
Best
of
Animated Short
that
Film,
one right there.
the
So
nominees
super
are
congratulations to Red, White, and Blue. Super
Letter
congratulations.
to a Pig, 95 Senses,
You know, AMC, I think, does a lot of the
Our Uniform.
shoots if they run them in a row. They don't have to go to the theater and
Pashidam,
No, that would be actually really, really great. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great films that they
and
have.
War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko.
Ah, interesting. So they didn't nominate everybody thought the
And
Disney
now
short that
we
they
have the
had, like the
first
100-year
two
anniversary
award
short film
categories
that they had.
honoring
People thought that was going to
writers.
get nominated.
First, for adapted screenplay,
Okay,
the
that's
nominees
screenplay.
are
Tough category.
American Fiction, written for the screen by Cord Jefferson.
All right, it's cool.
That's one of my like maybes.
Barbie,
Yeah, Barbie,
written by Greta Gerwig.
arguably
and Noah
original,
Baumbach.
but
Oppenheimer,
Oppenheimer, of
written for the
course.
screen by Christopher Nolan. Poor Things.
Poor Things, of course.
Screenplay by
Yeah.
Tony McNamara.
Stack category. Come on, Origin.
And The Zone of Interest,
Ah,
written by Jonathan Glazer.
It's a good one too. It's a good one too. No Origin in that category, so that hurts a
The
little bit.
nominees are
Killer. Wait.
No Killers of the Flower Moon. You're right.
Screenplay.
I noticed that.
Justine
I noticed that.
Triet
Yeah.
and Artur Arari.
Okay, so it's original. Now You Will Fall.
Holdover.
That's standard.
Written by
Of course,
David
those. Yeah, I
Henningsen.
think Holdover's gonna win this one.
Maestro, written by Bradley Cooper and Josh Singer.
Your favorite movie? Yo.
May
I'm
December.
silent.
Screenplay by Sammy
May
Birch.
December. Okay.
Story by Sammy Birch and Alex McCann.
Past lives. Past lives.
And Past Lives.
Yeah.
By Celine Song.
All right. These are good. The original screenplay was good. The adapted could have used a little
Nominees
work.
For
but-
performance by an
I could take off my
actress in a
shirt.
supporting role.
You take off my shirt.
Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer.
Emily Blunt, Oppenheimer. Okay, she deserves that.
Danielle Brooks in The Color
Color
Purple.
Purple. Hey, okay.
America Ferrera.
Whoa!
Jodie
Yo.
Foster in Naiad.
Jodie Foster.
And
Wow.
Divine Joy Randolph in the whole.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Divine Joy Randolph's gonna win, but
Congratulations,
America Ferrera.
nominees,
America Ferrera and Nyad
Stick
really
with
get
us.
me
We will be
there.
right
Like
back
it's
with more
been like a
nominations.
super low key in all these this award season.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that they I hadn't seen Nyad. I saw it pop up on Netflix. But man, yeah, that's that was a really crazy shakeup there because I didn't expect America Ferrera for Barbie at all, personally.
No, I was gonna say honestly, like I had her in there just because I didn't know how much the Academy was really going to take to Barbie. We talked about it being a cultural moment. We talked about it being in the zeitgeist. So I knew it was going to sneak in there for a lot of the technical categories. And it seems like it should be a lock for some of these, but I don't know how much faith I have in the Academy to actually go for such a fun, silly, box office successful film, and especially in these categories. So to see America Ferrera, honestly, I'm really, really happy about that. First of all, she has been deserving of her flowers for so long. Yeah, she elevated this film so much. So I'm happy to see her in there.
Yeah, Cinema Gorilla's in the chat. Shout out Cinema Gorilla made a really good point, saying that America needed a nomination since real women have curves. So this is it, and that's very, very true. I don't know if you've been to the Academy Museum, but they have a really nice exhibit about real women have curves in that area. So
I missed that, so I'm gonna have to go back.
yeah, no, but yeah, it was great seeing America Ferrera nominated. Great seeing Barbie, like you said, get all those nominations. Poor Things got a lot of nominations. And yeah, Society of the Snow snuck in there for a couple too. So it's surprising stuff. Again, a little heartbroken because nothing seems going the way for Origin. Feel like Neon, didn't do the best job marketing that movie. But with the contenders that we do have, yeah, Killers of the Flower Moon, also a big snub for adapted screenplay. I don't know if it's a snub because I like that movie, but I didn't love it. But I thought the screenplay, for it was a really interesting story and a really interesting adaptation. But yeah, this is it's some interesting stuff so far. Interesting stuff.
My three that were all kind of like the maybes for the last slot, it was American Fiction, All of Us Strangers, and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. So I'm happy to see American Fiction squeeze into there. The thing, I really wish All of Us Strangers or Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret got a little bit more love. I would have loved to see Rachel McAdams in supporting actress. She did such a subdued, very low-key, incredible performance. And she didn't campaign. She didn't really do anything. So I'm not surprised to not see her on this list. I just wish that she could have made it on this one.
No, same. Facts. And it's so funny because I really do think, I feel like Jodie Foster probably they saw she's on True Detective this season. They're like, all right, let's double hype her right now a little bit because of that. And yeah, I mean, otherwise, let us know in the chat what y'all think are some of y'all moments or snubs that we've seen so far at the nominations. Again, this is my first time seeing these, so it's all kind of surprising right now. Yeah, people are saying, yeah, America Ferrera. People really hyped America Ferrera. Matt Farley, shout out Matt, talking about Wes Anderson should have been an Oscar winner for Henry Sugar. Now, did any of the Wes Anderson shorts get nominated for?
So Henry Sugar did get nominated. So I mean, it is kind of crazy though, because, I loved Asteroid City. I know you don't really share that same sentiment, but for that one to be completely shut out of any awards conversation, at least he's making it in there for Henry Sugar. And another film, I mean, I've talked about this already, but Priscilla with Sofia Coppola, adapted screenplay, there's so many different categories, even makeup, costuming, there's so much they could have done with that. They did a fantastic job, truly, of capturing that time, telling that story through her clothing. So I think that that's a huge snub. I know we didn't talk about it in our predictions, but the costuming in Priscilla itself tells the story of what she's going through, and it is absolutely stunning. So that's a major loss. And the fact that that film was kind of completely shut out of award season 2, disappointing, but not surprising because it is a stacked year.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I feel like the Academy voters are really big Elvis fans. So they love the pro Elvis, very nice movie about Elvis. But the second it gets a little critical, they're like, nah, we don't like this. Get this out of here.
Throw it out. American heroes were all great.
Right. Yeah, you're talking about the costume. There's funny because there's even a point where Elvis kind of like pokes at her costume a little bit, like in the, not her costume, but how she's dressing in that. And then, yeah, that is a big part of the story. So I didn't even think about it like that.
Really quickly, just what you said, a lot of people don't pick up on it, but immediately he's like, hey, don't wear patterns. And then once she starts kind of becoming her own, she is decked out in patterns. You know, her style progresses so much. So I would have loved to see it in that category, at least. If it was going to get anything, would have liked it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, nah, man, but yeah, it's looking good so far. The Jack Quaid and Zazie Beetz just came back on screen. So yeah, like we hop right back into the second half of these.
Let's do it.
Live. Welcome back, guys. Live from the Academy in Beverly Hills, where we have the privilege of announcing the nominees for the Oscars.
What an exciting lineup so far. What's up next?
The nominees for Achievement in Music, Original Song.
Ooh, I'm Just Kidding.
The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot.
Yes, Flamin' Hot, Flamin' Hot. I'm Just Kidding, Barbie. Okay. Yo, people are hyped
I'm
though.
Just Ken from Barbie.
All right. People love Diane Warren.
It Never Went Away from American Symphony.
Good one, John Baptiste.
Wajaji, A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon.
I didn't see that one coming.
And What Was I Made For from Barbie.
No Dance the Night Away.
Next up, the nominees for Achievement in Music, Original Score. American Fiction.
Really? The jazzy, that's a very jazzy kind of like subtle score.
And the Dial of Destiny.
What?
Wait.
What?
Killers of the Flower Moon.
What? Okay, that's a good one.
Oppenheimer.
That's a good one. Oppenheimer, I think that's gonna win
And
probably.
Poor Things.
Poor Things is also phenomenal.
That's probably my favorite.
And now, the nominees for Best Documentary Feature Film.
Interesting.
All right, very
Bobby
interesting.
Wine, The People's President.
I saw that pop up on one of the streaming services
The
recently.
Eternal Memory. Four Daughters.
I haven't seen any of these, unfortunately.
No, I haven't either.
Kill a Tiger.
It's the title.
I will be watching.
Right.
And 20 Days in Mariupol.
Hey.
Next, for Best Documentary Short Film, the
Yeah.
nominees are
I'm not sure. I don't know.
the ABCs
Lots
of
of process
Urbana,
there.
Right. I haven't seen any of those, and I'm not sure.
The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between,
Okay.
Sam?
Last Reflection,
Yeah.
Right. Good for y'all.
and
Congrats.
Nine and Waipo.
I always go by the title, so I feel like the ABCs of Book Burning
For
is like
Best
a
International
pretty
Feature Film.
out there
The
title.
nominees are
That's my vote.
Io Capitano, Italy.
Ooh, I never heard of that one.
Perfect Days, Japan.
Oh, I saw the trailer for that.
Society of the Snow, Spain.
Netflix.
The Teacher's Lounge, Germany.
I heard good things about that.
And The Zone of Interest, United Kingdom.
Love to see that.
All right.
And for Best Animated Feature Film, here are the nominees.
But wait, no Anatomy of a Fall for Best Foreign
The
Language.
Boy
That's
and the
interesting.
Heron. Elemental.
Okay, both I love. I actually love these two. Nimona, that's a good one.
Robot Dreams.
That's a surprise. I've
And
seen Robot Dreams.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Wow. No Wish and no
Here are the nominees for Achievement
No Teenage Mutant
in
Ninja
Production
Turtles.
Design.
Ooh, TMNT. Honestly, that's
Yeah, I really like that one. Barbie, let's go. Barbie should win.
Killers of the
Production
Flower
design.
Moon.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
Napoleon.
production design. Napoleon.
Oppenheimer. And Poor Things.
yeah.
Oh,
I think it deserves.
for
Next
production
up,
design. Oh yeah.
For achievement in
Barbie
film
or
editing,
both of
the
those.
nominees are
Film editing. Okay.
Anatomy of a Fall,
Well deserving that one. Well
The
deserved.
Holdovers,
All right.
Killers of the Flower Moon,
Wow. So that's a
Oppenheimer.
3-hour movie.
and Poor Things.
Poor Things. They really love like Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Killers.
And for achievement in sound, here are the nominees.
Oppenheimer.
The Creator.
Oh, easy, yeah. Creator got a nomination though, so that's all right.
Maestro. Mission Impossible.
Go somewhere and show.
Part 1. Oppenheimer.
There we go.
Okay. Finish it.
And The Zone of Interest.
Okay.
Next, the nominees for achievement in visual effects. The
Me and
Creator.
Andres arguing.
Godzilla, -1.
Good for that. Good for that. Good for that.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
Hey, okay, that was a great one.
Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning. Part
Wow.
Another nom.
And
Right, surprised. Oh, wow. So no Across the Spider-Verse. No Across the Spider-Verse,
For
though.
achievement
for
in
visual effects.
cinematography, the nominees are
Man.
El Conde,
Cinematography. El Conde, never heard of that one.
Killers of the Flower Moon,
That's cool.
Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
Okay. Fun.
Right, they had to nominate
For
that for
performance
cinematography.
by an actor in a leading role.
Okay. Getting juicy.
Bradley Cooper in Maestro. Coleman Domingo
Yeah.
in Rusty.
Woo! Yeah.
Paul Giamatti in The Holdovers.
Yeah, that was a given.
Cillian Murphy in Oppenheimer.
And this last one?
And
Right.
Jeffrey Wright
American
in
Fiction.
American Fiction.
I know Zac Efron. I'm hurt.
We're close.
For performance by an actress in a leading role,
Okay. Come on, Greta Lee.
Annette Bening in Naiad,
Okay. Nice to see this one.
Lily Gladstone
Oh, yeah.
in Killers of the Flower Moon,
Definitely.
Sandra Julia in Anatomy of a Fall,
Woo! Yeah. Well deserved.
Carey Mulligan in Maestro,
That was a given.
and Emma Stone in Poor Things.
Yeah.
No Greta Lee. I don't know if you want to pause for a second.
Yeah, hold up. Yeah, we have to pause on that one for a second. Yeah. No Greta Lee in that category. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking.
Oh, no Margot Robbie.
Oh, no. Whoa, wait, hold up. No Margot Robbie for Barbie. So, yo, that's crazy.
Wait, can you read off the list again?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back to the thing on screen. So, okay, so it's Annette Bening and Naiad, Lily Gladstone and Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Holler for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan Maestro, and Emma Stone's Poor Thing. So, yeah, no Margot Robbie for Barbie.
No Margot Robbie, no Greta Lee, and Ryan was nominated and America Ferrera was nominated. How do you miss the titular Barbie in Barbie? Okay. I know this is a off the cuff, like maybe I'll appreciate a little bit more once time, but I think this lineup is pretty boring outside of like a Lily Gladstone, an Emma Stone, Sandra. Like I think besides those three, I also haven't seen Naiad, so I guess I can't fully base my opinion off of it, but the Carey Mulligan nomination, I love Carey Mulligan. I thought that film does not even come close. The performances in this film, a lot of the aspects of it don't even come close to some of the other entries that we've gotten. So it is disappointing to like see Margot get snubbed, Greta Lee get snubbed. Especially, I kind of think this all goes back a little bit to like, again, fun film, women having fun, like not taking itself too seriously, but at the same time having a lot of complexity. I think on the surface, it's an easy one to just write off. So this is pretty disappointing, I think, especially with the other supporting actors in the film getting love, which I'm super happy about, but no Margot.
Yeah, that is like you said, it's interesting that it's the movie's called Barbie. She's leading the film. She produced the film, and she didn't get nominated for Best Actress. I'm sure she might get a nomination if when Barbie gets nominated for Best Picture. But it's still just like, wow, that is interesting. I wonder if the joke that Helen Mirren made in the movie, like Margot Robbie wasn't the right person to say this line. I wonder if the Academy took that too seriously. But yeah, no, that's again, I haven't seen Nyad, so I don't know how Annette Bening or Jodie Foster really are in that movie. I would also say, another one I've been championing as well is Anjanou Ellis-Taylor for Origin. I feel like her performance is my favorite over all of these performances, even over Emma Stone, in my opinion. Because in my opinion, Emma Stone should win. Lily Gladstone should win too. I mean, she's gonna win. Lily Gladstone's gonna win, and I think she should as well. But to me, Anjanou Ellis-Taylor just was going crazy in Origin. I feel like that should have been at least like nominated, but it's not even nominated. Film got kind of shut out. Yeah, I did watch Maestro, and I do think Carey Mulligan is better than Bradley Cooper is in that movie, though, for sure. Like, I think she's the better of those two. But yeah, like,
I sound like a hater. I like them both. I just don't think, compared to what we have, I don't think that they should have made it on there. And I see Paul in the chat saying, I'm actually more pissed for Greta than Margot. I agree. If I could add one person, it would be Greta Lee, but I thought Margot was a lock, honestly. Yeah. I didn't really think about the fact that a lot of people could like write off this film. A lot of Academy of voters might not take it as seriously. And this is a stacked category. Again, I also would have loved to see Kaylee Spaney in it. But for the actors, like, I'm really pleasantly surprised at what we got, especially, we didn't get Leonardo for Killers.
That's right.
I don't think that's a huge surprise. I put him on there, of course, because he's Leonardo DiCaprio, but I did think somebody else was going to sneak in there. So for that to be
Coleman Domingo from Rustin. Yeah.
Yes, for Rustin. I like to see that. And I think other than that, it was pretty standard. We had Killian, Paul, Bradley, and Jeffrey Wright. So
yeah,
off Leonardo, put in Coleman Domingo. I'm happy with it.
And I don't want to brag, but that was my exact top 5. So, for best actor, I'm just saying. But no, but yeah, no, those are great. I love seeing. I mean, Jeffrey Wright is. Both Jeffrey Wright and Coleman Domingo are such phenomenal talents. Like, they're like, especially. I meant to say Coleman Domingo at first. I said Jeffrey Wright, but particularly Coleman Domingo. I said it before, but he shows so much range in the kind of character he plays in Rustin versus the kind of character he plays in Color Purple. Like, completely opposite spectrums of like performances. But he does them both equally as impactful and equally as committed. And I also love that, it's also, Rustin is the first time that Coleman Domingo got to play a gay character on screen and represent his own sexuality in his performance, because he's gay in real life, but he doesn't, he hasn't been able to play those kind of roles up until Rustin in a big capacity. So big congratulations on that nomination, very well deserved.
Wow, again, I just want to say no Zac Efron. When it comes to the actor lineup with what we have, I actually do really like it. Actress, I'm feeling a little bit more nitpicky about it. But this is a great lineup. I do really enjoy Bradley Cooper. I actually think he deserved it for A Star is Born 100% a few years ago. He deserved the win. It just wasn't the movie for me, I guess. So, I was hoping Zac Efron would make it.
Yeah, no Zac Efron, like you said, no Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't even peep the no Leo part, but to be honest, I didn't think he was even like the greatest Leonardo DiCaprio performance. So
yeah, I don't really think it's a snub. I just it was one of those where I expected him to be up there, kind of like a De Niro for Killers. So
yeah. Right. Yeah, so we have the last, I believe, couple categories in directing and picture left. So let's see how this goes.
The nominees are...
It's for Best Director.
Justine Triet, Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay. Good for her.
Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon.
That was given. Legacy Award.
Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer.
He might win. He probably is going to win.
Yorgos Lanthimos, Poor Things.
Yes.
and Jonathan Glazer, The Zone of Interest.
Yo, so no Greta Lee. I'm sorry, not no Greta Lee. No Celine song, and no Greta Gerwig. No Greta Gerwig. Wow.
Wow.
What? Yo. Oh yeah. Oh, what's your take?
So I'm gonna be so real. I think she definitely deserved. First of all, it's hard to say because none of this is about box office or cultural relevance or anything like that. But I do kind of feel like when it comes to Best Picture, Director, and a lot of these like major nominations, the ones that a lot of people debate, talk about, I think it is a good reflection on the year of cinema. And I think we would be remiss to say that Barbie wasn't one of the films that had the most impact. It brought so much joy. It brought so many people to the theater. It became Warner Brothers' like highest grossing film of all time, I believe. And that really is just crazy to me how many people treasure this film this past year, how many people it spoke to. And to not have Greta Gerwig nominated with all the things she did with this film, especially being like a awards darling in the past herself. She's been nominated plenty of times. I think I would take off, I don't know how you feel, but I would take off a Scorsese to put in a Gerwig. I know that's wishful thinking and Scorsese would never be knocked off. But again, in a year of so many talented women directors, Celine, Greta Gerwig, Justine Triet, to only have one of them in this 5 is just, again, a little disappointing.
Yeah, no, honestly. To me, there's a whole world where the whole 5 nominees could have been like all women directors and it still would have been a top tier lineup. Like if you would have put in, like you said, Greta Gerwig, Celine Song, again, I keep saying Origin, Ava DuVernay for Origin, you know what I mean? That like these are all very, very strong directorial choices. And of course, I'm very, very happy for Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall. That's one of my favorite movies of the year and one of the most moving movies I've watched. So it's great to see that nominated. But it's like you said. For me personally, I'm a little sad about Barbie. I'm not gonna lie, because I actually not shout out to Max, because Max does a lot of terrible things, but they did put out the Barbie like director's commentary on streaming, and I did watch all of that for Barbie, and it's a phenomenal commentary, yo. Like Greta Gerwig goes so deep into detail about like her inspirations, where like she got this production design idea from, like that one, and it's just watching her director's commentary was like taking a whole nother like film school class, honestly. And she was very intentional with her direction. So I don't know. I thought she was great, and I thought she deserved it. Like you said, she was an award darling, so I thought they were gonna give that to her too. But yeah, I guess it is a stacked out category. But yeah, you're right. I probably would take out like a Scorsese. I would definitely take out Scorsese to make room for Greta Gerwig. And I might even go as far as taking out, let me go back to the nominations real quick. I would even go, let me not say, I haven't seen Zone of Interest. So I haven't seen Zone of Interest. I don't know like how good it is. But to me, I don't know. To me, it seems like Zone of Interest is just a little bit like of a safer Oscar kind of movie. Not that I'm, let me not judge. I haven't seen the movie. I know Matt in the chat is like loving Zone of Interest. So, but yeah. And then, yeah, some people were saying, I know in the chat too, Paul Trejo was saying there are more, oh yeah, you read that one about Greta Lee being snubbed over Margot. And then Iron Claw being snubbed, says Cinema Gorilla. So yeah, it's an interesting category this year. Interesting category.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same place with you. Of course, I haven't seen Zone of Interest, so that's why it's just not in my brain. I can't put him on this list, especially in such a stacked category. Mm-hmm. So for me, like, I'm happy for the Nolan, the Yorgos. Either one of them winning would make me happy. I love them on this list. Take off a Scorsese, add in a Greta Gerwig, put in Celine Song for that last spot, and that's my ideal lineup for this year. My ideal realistic lineup, because I also put Sofia Coppola in there, but I knew that was never going to happen. So
that's another one, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah. So yeah, interesting. And Barbie gets snubbed in a couple of interesting ways, actress and director. So that's crazy. That's crazy.
And now,
so on to the last one.
Category.
I can't wait.
Best picture.
Let's read them together. The nominees for Best Motion Picture of the Year are
American Fiction.
Okay.
Ben LeClaire, Nikos Paramigos, Cora Jefferson, and Jermaine Johnson, producers.
Anatomy
nice.
of a Fall, Marie
Okay.
Chani, and David Thion.
Interesting. Not nominated in foreign language, but nominated for like Best Picture.
Barbie.
David
Damon,
Oh, they didn't submit it for Best
Robbie,
Foreign Language.
Tom
Oh,
Ackerman,
interesting.
and Robbie
Interesting.
Brenner, producers.
The Holdovers, Mark Johnson, producer.
Okay. Standard so far.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Dan Friedkin, Bradley Thomas, Martin Scorsese, and Daniel Lupi, producers.
Maestro, Bradley Cooper, Steven Spielberg,
Right.
Brad Berner, Amy Durning, and Christy McCosco Krieger, producers.
Yeah.
Right.
Oppenheimer, Emma Thomas, Charles Roven,
Yeah.
and Christopher Nolan.
Oppenheimer's gonna take it all.
Oh yeah. I think it's gonna be a really sweet.
David Hinojosa,
Let's go. Past Lives.
Vashon, and Pamela
Past Lives.
Edward,
Okay.
producers.
Poor Things,
Woo.
Ed Guiney.
Oh, right off the top. No Across the
Yorgos
Spider-Verse though.
Lanthimos, and Emma Stone,
Or is it too? I don't know.
producers.
I don't know if it's too late.
And The Zone of
Yeah.
Interest.
No Spider-Verse.
Wilson, producer.
Yeah. Okay. Zone of Interest though. Still good.
Okay.
Congratulations to this
Again,
year's
one time.
nominees.
Yeah, no, it's over now anyway. So, but yeah, no, that's wow. So no Spider-Verse is the biggest thing that pops off to me. I know it was more of a hopeful for a lot of people, but I still thought it was one of the best animated films I've seen in a long time, and I thought they were going to show us some love for that, especially in the year where I thought they wouldn't, I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. I just didn't. I thought they would. I thought this was the year that they were trying to be more like pop friendly, be more like we're gonna nominate the mainstream movies. But I guess Barbie is like kind of their like out of that. That's kind of like their one mainstream movie they're gonna award. And I guess Oppenheimer too is kind of mainstream. But it's still like I was looking forward to Across the Spider-Verse, but I can understand it. This is a stacked up top 10 list.
Yeah, let me take a peek at that list again. So we have American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Wow. So from my list, I did not have, again, The Zone of Interest because I haven't seen it. I think, I had Priscilla for some reason for that last spot. So this is exactly my predicted list, except I had Priscilla. And then as like some alts, I had All of Us Strangers and Spider-Verse. Not surprised to see All of Us Strangers not in this conversation at all. I know it did get some love for BAFTA, but that's to be expected a little bit more. But yeah, I feel like this year was kind of an easy year to predict besides some of these snubs with like Barbie and different things like that. We talked about it being stacked, but at the same time, all of these were very expected. We have like the cut and dried, the Maestros, the Killers of the Flower Moon, the ones, the second they drop, you're like, yeah, this is awards season. I'm not even saying like awards bait because Killers of the Flower Moon is not awards bait by any means, but because it's Scorsese, it's automatically awards conversation, of course. So yeah, overall, pretty disappointed by some of the Barbie snubs. If you are gonna snub Margot, like it is what it is. At least put Greta Lee in there. And then I would have loved to see Greta Gerwig for director again. So how are you feeling about this overall?
Yeah. It's like you said, easily to be expected for a lot of these nominations. And if I'm being honest, like I haven't said it so far this stream. I was trying to not be too negative towards this movie, but I didn't really like American Fiction. I thought it was like just a like decent, okay, like down the middle type of movie. And yeah, I just thought like it's a good movie, but the ending is so bad. Like it's probably one of the worst endings I've probably seen in a movie in a long time. It just kind of ended. But like I thought like there's so many other movies that I just love more than American Fiction. And I'm not trying to target that movie particularly, but I haven't seen Zone of Interest, and I haven't seen that's the only one on this list I haven't seen, honestly. But to me, American Fiction is not even on the same tier as like these other movies. And I feel like, again, to me, like Across the Spider-Verse is higher for me. Origin is higher for me. Like there's mad other movies that came out that were more impactful to me than American Fiction was. But that's just me. But like, I'm still glad to see it. It's funny because when me and Andres and my boy John Marin, we did a review for American Fiction, and we're kind of talking about at the end of the review, like, oh, they like to give, you know, one black movie the awards like through the seasons, and I feel like they just picked American Fiction to be that one. But
which is kind of very meta when you consider the themes of American Fiction.
Exactly. Which is like, yeah, and I mean, I could keep going on about that movie. One of my mans, he like sent a DM like really clowning the movie. I'm not even gonna read what he said because he was talking crazy about it. But yeah, it's an interesting movie, but I do think I would have preferred to see other movies on top in there instead. Again, I haven't seen Zone of Interest. I will check it out. It does seem like an interesting concept. I also didn't love Killers of the Flower Moon either. And it's like you said, Maestro is like a standard one. I thought Maestro was cool. I thought it was cool. I could see it being like the legacy pick. I really do feel like they only nominated it because Spielberg produced it and like Bradley Cooper was hot off of A Star Is Born. So
it's kind of how I felt about like the Fabelmans last year. You know, I think it's more so it's like, yes, it's the substance of the film, it's who's making the film, it's who's producing the film, versus like the actual film itself. Because if you put it all, especially, I mean, this lineup, last year's lineup, whatever, if you put it all and have people watch it without knowing who's creating it, whatever, would somebody actually nominate a film like Maestro or something like The Fabelmans for Best Picture? Maybe I'm a hater.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just early in the morning and I'm being a hater, but it is kind of crazy too, because I haven't seen The Color Purple. There are a lot of films I still need to watch before we finally get to the ceremony itself. But Color Purple didn't really get much outside of Danielle Brooks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, she didn't get much outside Danielle Brooks. I thought for sure it was going to get like at least a costume nomination, at least, or something like that. But it really didn't. Yeah, that one didn't get any look. That one didn't get any love. I said, I was mentioning Origin. There was actually Tiana Taylor for 1001. I didn't mention that during my predictions video, but I was quietly hoping that she would sneak in to the Best Actress category. She had a phenomenal performance. So yeah, I thought she was great. And yeah, there's so many. I mean, there's so many great movies that came out this year. I mean, there's so many. TMNT, like I said, again, not nominated for Best Animated Feature. I personally really loved it. And by the way, that original score category, like we have skipped over it a little bit, but it was automatically invalid when they put in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Like, why?
It goes back to exactly what I was just saying. If you listen or if you watch this film without knowing who's the one that's doing the score, would you nominate it? Let's be real. And like, of course they're gonna nominate this one because of the legacy and all the
John
people.
Williams.
Yeah, and like he is immensely talented, 100%. But I have never thought about this score again. I haven't thought about Maestro again. And I saw Movie Ace in the chat saying Fabelmans was brilliant. I get it. I also think compared to some of the other films that it beat out for some of the awards contention last year, I just can't see it. Like an After Sun to me is a Best Picture nominee over the Fabelmans. Like I just feel like there was way more brilliant films in my opinion. And that's the same way I feel about Killers, Maestro, and again, Indiana Jones getting nominated. It's that same conversation. It's almost like a Jamie Lee Curtis of last year. How we talk about Stephanie Hsu should have won. Jamie Lee Curtis won for the same film in a lesser role, less to do. It's more about the legacy, their history with Hollywood. We see this happen where a lot of the times the Academy doesn't want to give some of these younger actors the noms or the wins. Sometimes they come in like Paul Mescal last year, but we're not getting like a Dominic Sessa this year, or like just something that's really, really fun and interesting. But we get, and again, no offense, but we get the Annette Benings, we get the Jodie Fosters, and it's more so like, look at their career as a whole versus look at what they did in this single film. So because they fail to either nominate or give the win to a lot of young people, young actors that are really deserving of it, later on down the line, they're going to give Paul Mescal that win for like some bullshit biopic, something like that. You know what I mean? Because they didn't do it. So it's just, it's a snowball effect, and it keeps happening, and it just needs to be stopped, honestly.
Yeah. They should just make better decisions in real time instead of instead of just being like, like retroactive, like we got to reward people for their past work. And that's why, and again, like I didn't hate American Fiction, but like original score, really, like that's the most boring, not boring, but I think it is boring. Like it's like literally a 50s plus, like old school, like my man John compared it to like a Spike Lee score back in the day. Yeah, it's like a 90s Spike Lee score, just very jazzy and all, which is fine. But Across the Spider-Verse, I know I sound like a nerd, like keep shouting this out, but to me, Across the Spider-Verse elevated above like comic book movies and comic book cinema. Like it's a legitimately great film, especially the score, the songs, the visuals. I mean, I mentioned it being snubbed for best visual effects. I mean, it's just like, I feel like it's a movie that was such a brilliant achievement on all levels. But only to get just relegated to the best animated feature category is very heartbreaking to me, especially when there's so many other good categories. Like I mentioned, score, best song, best visual effects, nothing in sound. It's just, they're very, I guess they didn't want to do a sound because when they released the movie, the sound got kind of messed up or whatever. But still, I would have loved to have seen some recognition for that. So,
out that sound thing. Yeah, that was interesting. And it's kind of, again, that same conversation. It's like Spider-Verse did very well the last time when the first one was released. And then now, it's going to win that best animated feature. But then outside of that, where else are we celebrating it? There is so much craftsmanship that goes into a film like this. It's exactly what I'm talking about with Priscilla. If it was going to be like shunned out of the major nominations in award season, why not give that and The Color Purple costume design? To me, that I just can't imagine with some of the other films that are on the list. I just can't see that over Priscilla. Like they did that. So yeah, Spider-Verse, major snubs. Greta Gerwig, of course, and Margot Robbie, major snubs.
Greta Lee.
And again, Greta Lee, I put her into that category of like some people who are just coming into the mainstream, or whether they're young or whatever it may be. So of course we have a Lily Gladstone that's amazing. She came out of the gate swinging, and she absolutely deserves to be recognized. And I hope she takes the win. But the failure to nominate such a fantastic performance in Greta Lee, because we put, again, someone like Annette Bening, which I love her. I don't want to sound, again, like I am talking like down on anybody or saying that they're not deserving of it. It's just very safe and very expected. And I was hoping that kind of with this new year and maybe moving forward, we would just get a little bit more of a reflection of what people are actually talking about, because other than awards conversation, I haven't heard a single person talk about Naiad.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
The right people.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much talk about Naiad or I haven't heard. Yeah, that's a good one, because I really didn't hear anything about that until this morning. Honestly, I know it popped up on Netflix, but yeah, I wish there would. I'm gonna keep saying, like, I just wish they, like, I'm actually very happy about the best actor category. I'm pretty happy about the best supporting actor category, because they snuck in Sterling K. Brown, which was the best part of American Fiction in my opinion. But yeah, it was the best actress and the best supporting actress were a little bit more surprising. I'm actually glad they put in America Ferrera. But in putting in America Ferrera, they probably had to snub somebody, right? I just can't remember off the top of my head, like who. But no.
I'm trying to think because I think also we're all so like we know Divine Joy Randolph for me deservingly is going to take it. So this is one where I went crazy on my predictions, not like crazy, but Rosamund Pike for Saltburn. I really want and Rachel McAdams, and I'm not against either of those. Maybe a Rachel McAdams I would have loved to see in there again, but Rosamund Pike, I know that was kind of like a long shot. If Saltburn was going to get anything, I feel like that would be the one. Yeah. Supporting actress, it's really interesting because when I put America Ferrera down on my predictions list, I thought that out of it all, especially all of the Barbie ones, I thought that was going to be the one that did get snubbed. So, you know, we love to see our Hispanic girlies winning.
All right. No, that's a fact though. That is actually a fact. I do love seeing that. So, but yeah, with that being said, was there any other nominations or anything else missing or anything else that you want to shout out, Sabrina?
I think just overall, you know, we kind of talked about some FYC campaigns. You know, you say it with like Origin. I'm kind of.
Oh, sorry, that was an accident.
No worries. Origin, Iron Claw.
Sorry, another accident. Sorry about that. So sorry. This OBS is like all over the place right now.
You're golden. But yeah, Priscilla, Origin, All of Us Strangers, Iron Claw. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I know that one came out really early, and I'm biased because I worked on that campaign earlier in this last year. So I really have a strong attachment to that film. But then once it was released, I saw everybody kind of felt that way. People have been championing Rachel McAdams or an adapted screenplay, something along those lines. Even right away when I saw the film, I was like, let's get Rachel McAdams and Kathy Bates into this awards conversation real quick. And everybody was laughing at me. And then it really actually picked up when the film came out. So I just think there were some FYC campaigns that just didn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. And, you know, campaigning, going to all the events is such a huge part of all of this, because for a film like, I don't even know, maybe Naiad or whatever, it's like, they have their friends in the industry. It's like, a Jamie Lee Curtis situation. They have their friends in the industry. They're going to the events. They're chatting. They're having screenings. I know Zone of Interest had a screening hosted by like Jennifer Lawrence like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, so people in the industry, when they see a film that they love, they continue to champion it. We saw it with Andrea Riseborough last year. You know, where it's just word of mouth, everybody getting this into the forefront, it has a better chance of getting nominated. So, oh my God. Again, the one I want to say, Charles Melton.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right.
I don't even care about my other train of thought. Yes, all of that's valid, but Charles Melton, I think this is a great example. He's again, another young person, him and Dominic Sessa. But if anybody, it should have been Charles Melton. I actually think he deserves the win as well. I love Robert Downey Jr., but again, I feel like as great as he was, I feel like, again, that's another industry thing, and it's not really anything new, fresh, or exciting. Cillian Murphy was fantastic, and Robert was great as well. But Charles Melton, another young person, giving a fantastic performance that if we base it off just the performance itself, he would definitely get that nom. He could possibly get that win. But they just failed to do it. And again, when he is 45, 50 years old, he's probably going to get a nomination for some biopic one day. But I would have loved to see it right now for this film and to be recognized where the recognition is applicable.
Yeah, no, Charles Melton was such a understated performance in that movie. There's a scene where he's like smoking a J with his son, like on the rooftop. And it's like such a beautiful, quiet, like heartbreaking, but also kind of funny scene. But it's a great film. May December is definitely one of the best movies of last year. And I thought Julianne Moore might have been able to slip into the Best Supporting Actress. You know, and Natalie Portman was more of a long shot for Best Actress, but May December definitely deserved those nominations, especially like you said, Charles Melton, because you said he came from CW, right? He was on Riverdale.
I didn't watch Riverdale. I've seen clips. It's really funny. To go from like a teeny bopper film like or show like that, and then cross over into this and just do such a fantastic job. And with Riverdale, the dialogue is so terrible. The direction is definitely unique.
Right.
And you have to be a really good actor to be able to deliver these lines and like do it justice. And he did that on that show. I've seen the clips. So this felt like a really great career pivot for him. Like Cinema Gorilla's talking about, he campaigned hard. He went to all the events. I saw all the photos. It is really a shame that how hesitant they are to nominate some young people. Even though we've gotten so many cool young nominations back in the day, I feel like it was way more prevalent than it is now. We had Kirsten Dunst. Didn't she get nominated for Interview with a Vampire, or am I crazy?
Oh, that's a good question. I have to look that one up.
The son from Kramer versus Kramer, I'm pretty sure he was nominated.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild. I can't see another world where they nominate a child for an award ever. And that used to be something that happened.
Haley Joel Osment in The Sixth Sense.
There we go. And now they won't even nominate like a 25-year-old. They're hesitant to do that because they have to give love to, no offense, the Annette Benings and the Jodie Fosters of the world, the Robert Juniors, the De Niros.
The De Niros. I was gonna say, like, best supporting actor, we could have lost to Robert. As a member of the Robert clan, like, we could have used one less Robert in that category.
Yeah, so it's just crazy how much this has changed over the span of decades, and really the politics of it all. It's always been political. It's always been, who you know in the industry, how you're even like your presence in the industry. I really do think that Margot was snubbed probably because she's just not taken as seriously due to some of her previous roles, Harley Quinn, some box office ones. She was nominated for I, Tonya, but again, there's a conversation, and we can get into this a lot more on a different day because I know that we've kind of been chatting about this for a while, but I've seen people talk about how like when an actress is really gorgeous and when they ugly themselves, to put in quotes. So like Charlize Theron for Monster, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya. When you make them look like normal, average people, they get taken more seriously in their performances as women, versus like seeing her in Barbie and she's pristine and perfect, and that's the point. She's just not taken as seriously, and it is really disappointing because why? Yeah, I have all these questions. We need to join the Academy. Get us in the Academy 2032. We need to be on this.
No, facts. We need less in the Academy. Let's start making decisions. Well, I will say, though, shout out to, and I shouted this out when we saw the category for live action short film. But I'm going to shout out potentially a new Academy member, my friend Tiffany Massey. Shout out Tiffany Massey. She produced the short film Red, White, and Blue that is nominated for the Oscar for Best Live Action Short Film. So shout out to her. Big congratulations. This Best Live Action Short Film is a hard category to get into. So especially with the shortlisting process and all that. So and I've been kind of following. She's been posting about her journey and like trying to get that FYC consideration for this. So very, very happy to see her film that she produced get nominated for that. So yeah, that's the biggest bright spot that I felt like out of the award season. And then of course I believe I was going to go to somebody said something in the comments. Speaking about talent, young talent being snubbed. Like you said, Dominic Sisa for Holdovers was one of my favorite performances of the year. I put that in my best supporting actor performances too. That didn't get any love, and there was well, you mentioned Priscilla. There was another one that you had mentioned getting some misses as well too. But yeah, overall, yeah, it is. You're right though. That is an overall trend of like not having young people be the face of these award shows. And I will say too, Neon, the distributor Neon, they had a lot of movies that came out this year. I feel like they put all their chips into Anatomy of a Fall, which is cool. Again, I would love to see some love for Origin. And as Cinema Gorilla pointed out, how to blow up a pipeline. was also not anywhere to be seen. At least I thought, at least in like some sound categories or something like that. Like it was a great. That's a great film as well. If you haven't checked that out on Netflix. But yeah, so it's the same old in some ways, but it's still better than ever. It's still better than like some years when it's like no people of color and just like all so they progressed a little bit, but not the most. And again, speaking of Origin, check out my review of Origin. Is premiering live on the channel right now. It's also going to redirect to this. It's also going to redirect to that premiere after this stream. So sorry, I didn't say Sabrina.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say my last thing, because I didn't really mention this because I was expecting it, so it was what it was. But Poor Things getting a lot of love. So I think like, what is it? For just off the top of my head, it's like Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Killers, maybe.
Yeah.
A lot of those, the Holdovers, of course. A lot of those really getting into the top of some of the most nominated films. I see it. I loved Poor Things so much. In a world where Oppenheimer didn't come out this year, I think Poor Things would have been a lock for the Best Picture win and for director.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I definitely think Poor Things deserve to be nominated for a lot, and it should win a lot. I think it should win. I think it should have been nominated for a lot and should win a lot. That being said, though, it's kind of interesting in the categories that it is nominated in. It's competing against like Oppenheimer and Barbie and Killers. So it's like, in a way, like I do want it to win a lot of these categories. But there's part of me that feels like, the Academy is going to give the production design to like Barbie instead, or, costume design to somebody, to Barbie or something else instead. Like, just because because Poor Things is kind of in that weird world of like being in both a lot of technical categories and the mainstream categories. So it's like the technical categories is probably going to duke it out with Barbie and Oppenheimer a lot. And then in the big ones is going to duke it out with Oppenheimer a lot. So it's like, it's tough to even know where it's going to land in terms of the final wins. But I am glad to see it get nominated for all the awards that got nominated for.
It's kind of like last year's Banshees of Inisherin. Y'all know that one. So that one was nominated for a bunch last year. I can't even remember off the top of my head, but I think it was like 11 or 12 nominations, but it didn't win a single one because Everything Everywhere All at Once was just sweeping every single category. So again, I think Poor Things is this year's Banshees of Inisherin, where it gets a ton of love, a ton of nominations. I don't know, unfortunately, how many wins it will get. I think maybe some of the closest it might get to, as much as I'm rooting for Lily Gladstone, Emma Stone, I think, is the next runner-up, and she could possibly take it. So maybe some awards like that, possibly a screenplay. I mean, it's so tough. This is genuinely kind of a little bit of a crazy year. I think a lot of the things that I thought were going to make it on, like a Margot Robbie or whatever, didn't. So when it comes to the wins, it's going to take me a second to really process this entire lineup and then come to my conclusions, besides Oppenheimer being a lock for some.
Yeah. But with that though, thank y'all for tuning in with us for the 2024 Oscar nominations, the 96th annual Academy Awards. We're probably going to do a another recap of the actual award show itself. So be sure to subscribe to First Cut. Stay tuned with that. Sabrina, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok at Sabrina on Film, and then Instagram at Sabrina X Monica.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3. Follow First Cut TMO on everywhere that you have socials. And yeah, with that being said, for First Cut crew, we peacing out, y'all.
Happy award season.
Happy award season.